and bienvenidos to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making Carlota de Limón, lime charlotte, for Mother's Day. Vámonos! Carlota or charlotte is a dessert suited for a queen. It is believed it was originated in the 18th century in the court of Queen Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. Yes, the one from Bridgerton, who was married to King George III. Yes, the one from Hamilton. Her favorite dessert consisted in biscuits soaked in citrus juices with cream and fresh fruit. So you may already know a version of this dessert, since it became very popular in America in the 19th century. In Mexico, our favorite version of this dessert is lime charlotte, for limey reasons. And talking about queens, since Mother's Day is coming, this would be the perfect treat for the mother figure in your life, especially if you're not a baker. This dessert is simple to put together and it requires just a few ingredients. This is the dessert or the dish that I made by myself for the first time since I was very little. So it's beginners friendly. Let's get to it. So we're going to start with the ingredients. The basic ingredients are going to be 1 can of evaporated milk, 1 can of sweet condensed milk, 1 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice, the amount of limes is going to depend on how juicy your limes are. You can stop right here, but I highly recommend adding some creaminess to the mixture. And for that, I'm gonna add 8 ounces of cream cheese, which is a whole bar. You could use less than that, or you can change this and use heavy whipping cream instead. So let's just add the cheese. And something else. These are the cookies that I like to use. If you can't find them, you can use any other thin biscuit that you have in hand, or you can even use ladyfingers if you want to. If you're gonna use ladyfingers or something thicker than these cookies, you can reserve some of the lime juice and soak them lightly into it, or any other citrus like orange or a mix of both. But these are the ones that I like to use. Let me give you a close-up of the cookies that I'm talking about. These kind of cookies are called Marias. They're thin, strong, and crunchy, just like me, and they have a nice snap to them. They have the peculiarity of taking in liquid slowly, so it takes either a lot of time or a lot of liquid for them to become completely soggy. And every time you make this pie, it is imperative for you to taste the cream mixture because, yum. I'll be using a 9-inch round pie mold, but you can use a 9x9 or a rectangular one, whatever you have, even those that the walls release, just in case you're brave enough and you have one and you feel comfortable using it. It really doesn't matter. For the base of the charlotte, I always like to make an even layer of cookies as much as I can, even if you're not gonna be able to see it. I like, just for the workflow, I like to keep some sort of a pattern that will keep me focused on what I'm doing, and also allowing for the next layer to be as even as possible. You want to keep a nice ratio. When it comes to the lime mix, I like to keep my layers on the thicker side. It's up to you on how to control your ratio, but I like a bigger ratio of cream and just a thin layer of cookies. But that's a personal matter. Just try to be careful when you're spreading it so you don't move around the cookies too much. And as you can see, the liquid is, or the mixture, I should say, is quite thick. And that happens because the proteins of the milk are normally negatively charged, so they keep a stable liquid form. When we add the acid in the form of the lime, the pH drops, and that weakens those structures of the protein, making them to clump up together. That's why we get this consistency. So, as I said, you don't need to add the cream cheese. If you don't have it, just do it as such, and it is still going to form the same texture. I just add it for the flavor. I'm gonna continue adding a layer of cookies and a layer of cream until my mold gets all the way to the top. And if you feel like it, this is just an idea because I was feeling creative. I decided to use the leftover cookies and some thinly sliced lime to build up some sort of a rose in the middle of the charlotte, but you can keep it simple, of course. You could, of course, go further and make some candied lime and then use them to decorate your charlotte with that, or just leave it as is and it's going to be just fine. One thing that I would recommend, even if you keep it simple, would be to add some lime zest all on top of your pie. It's just not going to look pretty. It is also going to add these extra lime oils all right in the top of your pie. So every time somebody gets a slice, they're going to breathe in all the beautiful aromas. Another nice tip is to grind some of the leftover cookies all around the edges. It will bring a nice golden color to your charlotte, and they don't have to be fine. You could even add some bigger crumbs. And of course, don't forget you always can use whipped cream to decorate if you don't feel like doing any of that at all. So now we need to let it sit in the fridge, preferably overnight, and you're gonna be ready to enjoy this delicious dessert. And another idea is to make individual servings. I covered my ramekin with film because I was thinking on freezing mine and then the film will help me release it from the mold. However, I didn't wait enough time in the freezer, so I wasn't able to do that, at least in the beginning. So if you're gonna make individual size servings and you're planning to unmold them, you really need to make sure that they are completely set. You could also freeze the whole pie and have a nice ice treat for everybody. But this one is for me, and that's why it's really heavy on the cream. Okay, it's been 2 hours, which honestly I don't think is enough, especially for the little one, since it has more content of the cream mixture. It's not there yet. However, the pie never gets really to a solid form. It's always creamy unless you put it in the freezer, which is what I'm gonna do with this little one. Now, even though it's not completely done, it's still gonna be delicious and I'm gonna try it for you. So this one is gonna be extremely creamy because I added just one layer of cookie, one cookie per layer, so it's gonna be mostly cream. Oh, it's still so good. It's really bright and limey. That's why I highly recommend adding some cream or cream cheese to balance the flavor a little bit more. If you like lemon bars, lemon curd, or key lime pie, you're gonna like this one too. I highly suggest you to try it and don't miss out on it. The cookies are just barely, they're more there for the flavor. They lost the crunchiness, but they still have a nice texture, and the flavor, the vanilla, just comes out. Mm. Also try making different variations. You can make mango, you can make pineapple or orange or a mix of citrus. Always stay with a more acidic fruit. That's always going to help. First, the milk to get the texture that we are looking for, and also to balance the sweetness of the condensed milk. But definitely, this is a score. And as I said, if you put it in the freezer, it's also going to be a nice ice treat. So try it however you want, but try it for real. So please treat the queen mothers of your life with something sweet, something nice, and some space, because moms need space. And you know the drill. If you enjoy this recipe, just like this video, please share it with your friends, like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Feliz Dia de las Madres!